welcome back to Chatting More with Lou. I'm Lou, your host.
And I'm Jasmine, your co-host.
And welcome to today's episode. Welcome to the first episode we're recording since January. And I know it's been a long time.
A long time.
It's been a very long time. And we are going to explain or just kind of talk about what we've been doing, what happened, why we haven't recorded, and everything. Kind of just talk about what happened, and then going into this whole quarantine and this whole thing that we're dealing with currently.
Yes. So, you want to take it back all the way to January? Oh my goodness, that was so long ago.
Yes,
I can't believe it.
it's been so long, but it feels like it feels like time is just flying by.
It really is. Like, we're like almost to September. Like,
I That is just crazy.
yeah,
I
I mean,
can't
like,
even.
after this week is over, that this week that's coming is over, like, we're halfway, like,
I know,
to September.
and so much has happened, guys. So much has happened
So
that
much.
we are going to just go into it. I don't remember much of my January, to be honest, but did you? What happened? What did you do in January, Jazz?
So I just remember being really excited for this year because I don't know, I felt like it was, a new decade that we were in, and I had all these things that I wanted to do with like school and just like in my personal life, there were concerts and stuff that I was excited for. There was just life, I was looking for a job, and things like that. So that's pretty much like what I did in January. Mainly was looking for a job, just like thinking of what I wanted to do going forward, and that's kind of what I spent my January doing, was kind of like planning. And um then like the end of January going into February was kind of weird because that's when we heard about the coronavirus coming to the US. And so it was like, oh, sh- it was like, you probably should be staying home, but like it's not, a requirement or anything like that. It was kind of scary, but like not as scary yet, because we still had so many questions. I just remember like looking up everything and going on, and like in other countries, and how they were handling it and stuff like that, and kind of wondering what was gonna happen. And I had no idea like how it would come to this point.
Right. And, January was like, we did have a few events that happened in social media and YouTube, like announcements, now that I recall.
Oh
But
yeah.
that was the month that, like, I don't know, it was just like that was where our hopes and goals and dreams were like being, I guess, set and being put together and stuff. And then, like you said, then we got this news about, the infamous coronavirus. And that's when, like, I at that point I was still working, and I was like, I believe I was like everybody else. I was like, okay, it is what it is. People were saying it was like the flu or whatever and whatnot. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I just kept going with my life.
Yeah. Did you ever? like look into like any of the conspiracies or anything like that, that were going on at that time?
No, I honestly I didn't even pay attention to it because I kind of just continued my life normally
Mhm.
until I was still making plans for the future or the month
Mhm.
that we are currently in that nothing really happened. But at the time I was just, going to work like normal, and I was actually starting to plan when I was going to go back to school, what I was going to do for this year. I was actually
Mhm.
planning my trips to see my friends
Right.
and to go on vacation and stuff. And it came around the month of March where shit got serious, and I believe it was actually the end of February that I know a few states were shutting down completely.
Yeah.
Um and I don't really remember. Everything happened so fast that I
It
don't even
really did. Like
remember.
it changed like from one day to the next, honestly.
Exactly. It was like you literally had to change almost your whole life routine overnight.
And
Uh
then we were running out of toilet paper. Like what?
Yeah, that was insane. I was glad like when I believe the state of Arizona shut down about, I don't know, like the 15th of March or so.
Mhm.
They started shutting down. I don't really remember, but it kind of got shit got serious for me, like for like when I realized like, oh my gosh, like we really this is really happening. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't in denial. I just wasn't really paying attention to it.
Yeah.
So, I was, I was listening to the news, checking on the updates and stuff, but I really wasn't paying much attention to it. Like
Right.
I was following protocols and stuff, but when when it really like hit me was when my job told me like, hey, we have to move you guys to work from home, like, and that's when I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
that's when I was like, oh my gosh, so this is like 100% like for real, like we really need to go on this lockdown. And that's when I started taking shit more serious. um
Yeah. See, for me, I think I took it a little more seriously before that because um, I I just, I didn't have a good feeling about it. And like the more like people were saying like this is super serious, I was like, okay, well, we have to believe that. And I didn't, all the conspiracies that were going on and stuff, like I kind of felt like that was a little insensitive to the people that were dying, and or like really sick. But I listened to that stuff and I was like, maybe, but I feel like you're kind of reaching. Um,
yeah, I feel
but
you.
like, are you just trying to get clicks and views?
Uh,
I don't know.
yeah,
Like, um,
I did after, like I said, for me everything happened so fast because I do have to travel for work. And
yeah,
it was just like literally overnight, like this is what you need to do. We were scheduled to get our equipment and stuff, set it up and start working from home as soon as
yeah,
possible. So there was just a lot that I had to do in such a literally short period of time, that it was literally, I believe it was within a week. It was just waiting. Like we were scheduled, and you
right,
had like when it was time to go, it was time to go. Like
yeah.
you had to get all your stuff, and it was a challenge. Like
I
I
believe it.
I was waiting for years. I've been working for the company that I work for years now.
Yeah,
And my goal has always been working from home, and because I am the type of person that I don't I guess you could say I'm half the time not a people person. So
right.
at least for my job, I like to be at home. And unfortunately, because of this situation, I was able to work from home. And I've never been happier since.
Yeah, which I'm really glad that you are, fortunate enough to have that. So for me in February, going back to that, I was looking for something from work from home because and then I that ended up not working out, but that was just one thing I was doing. Then um I told my mom like before it was kind of rumored that we might have a lockdown. I told my mom we might want to like, you know, get some stuff like just in case, you
Yeah.
know. And so then, you know, I was like, they said that when they said that we have to wear a mask and stuff like that, I was, at the time we only had, um, we had a few at, at home already. Just like those, I don't know what you call them.
The
They're
disposable
basically,
ones?
huh?
The disposable ones?
Yeah, they're just the disposable ones, but they weren't the like the surgical disposable ones. They were the ones that kind of were like cone shaped kind of looking ones. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but
The is it like the N something?
yeah, I think
Okay,
that's
yeah.
yeah. But so we had a few of those, but then so when we didn't have um those anymore because we only had a few, my mom started making them, and then we ordered some, and then because we couldn't go to the store and get them because everyone was buying them and they were like sold out everywhere, um which was crazy. I had never seen Walmart like that in my life. Like this is something that you see like on a
On a show.
movie, yeah, or a show. It was crazy. Like I had never seen like the canned food aisle so empty in my life.
Oh my God, yes. That happened to us too. Thankfully, when we started, like you said, when we started hearing rumors, or like not rumors, but like the news saying that
It
um
might happen.
it might happen, stock up on food or whatever. Thankfully, I was like, you know what? I was telling my parents, I was like, you know what? We need to get our shit together, and we need to at least go buy things to hold us up for 2 weeks at a time, or whatever the case may be. So
Right.
we were able to do that, and thankfully, because by the time we went, I believe like the third time around to go get things that we needed, shit
Hmm.
was gone. Things were empty.
Yes, we were so lucky because like my mom always like keeps us stocked on meat
Hmm.
because when we went to the store like the second time to like get like that type of stuff, that was gone. And like there you can only get like because then they were like limiting people to like what they could get and like stuff like that, or if they just didn't have it. So luckily like we were good with that, but like there was just like random little things that you know you couldn't get.
Right. And then if you wanted to order it, it was like, oh, it will be there in a week, even with Amazon Prime. And
Oh yeah, see, i I
I
don't
don't,
think we tried to order anything like that at that time, so yeah.
I tried even just like little things just to like entertain myself. Like it would take up to a week because it wasn't an essential, which
Oh yeah.
understandable. I get it. But what I didn't understand is like, what the hell with the toilet paper?
Yeah, like
Like
that
I
was
would,
crazy.
yeah, like I would understand if like one of the symptoms were like diarrhea, but like none of it was diarrhea. So I don't understand why
Well, at that point, no, it wasn't, but now it is a thing. So
now it's a thing.
yeah, because so one of the symptoms is like they say gastro intent. What is the word? basically you have stomach issues.
Basically, you get diarrhea.
Yeah, but yeah, it could be like either like not being able to go or diarrhea or like, and stuff like that. Any
Yeah.
intestinal problems.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, but that's now when they're stocked up. But
Yeah.
back then, I was like, what the hell? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? Anyways, so, but with me moving, this was in March. I don't even remember, to be honest. With me moving to working from home that was just the beginning of everything. There was a lot of struggles that came after that for me.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that they closed down, as a family, my some of my family members could no longer work, so I had to take on a second job, as well as assist at home with like all the bills and stuff. So at some point I was the only one making or the only one with an income. So that happened, and then this was kind of towards the end of March, I believe. Yes.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, other things happened after that where I lost my grandma, and that came in April.
Yeah.
And dealing with the fact that the whole world was shut down. Unfortunately, we weren't able to attend the funeral. So I was, and at this time as well, that's when I had made the decision to go back to school, which I
Yeah.
started in late April. So now we're in April. I started school, which I had to cut down on, obviously, my second job, and I'm still working on my, full-time job. And with that, my family members were able to start taking over that second job that I was doing. So that's good. Um, a, tough times comes. That's when, like, what if if you're close with your family, if stuff, that's when kind of thing, life tests you to see how close you are, how strong you are, and
Yeah.
all the challenges that come, and like you have to face. And I know we weren't the only family facing that. I know there was a lot of people, and still there is a lot of people that have lost their jobs due
Yeah.
due to this situation, and that are financially struggling, and are trying to just get through. And trust me, I am there with you. I am very, very grateful, and I don't take it for granted that I am still working. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful that none of my family members, or no, I have had, how do you say that, like external family, or um not my, not
Yeah. Extended
immediate
family. Yeah.
extended family. Some have tested positive for it, but they have gone through it. They're recovered. They're fine. So,
Well,
um,
that is so good.
yeah. So we I have gotten tested, and that's kind of how my April went. Working two jobs, um, still trying to deal with a loved one that has passed away, and starting school. So that was just a lot happened, and that was just, I think, kind of the start of everything for me.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I took a break on my YouTube as well. I think I took a month off, a month and a half off.
Yes. It was
So
about that. Yeah.
yeah, so it was just hard. There was just, at those times in life, it just gets, the energy gets really tough, and the motivation, and life just gets hard, and sometimes you just have to prioritize some things, and
Right.
I'm glad, we got through it as a family, and we're here today. And there a lot of other stuff happened in May and June, but I'm just trying to remember like everything that I've gone through. I can't even.
It's a lot.
It is a lot, and it just seems like it was like yesterday or a week ago that we were in
Yeah.
April, Now we're almost halfway through August, and time is flying so fast.
Yeah. So for me in April, it was kind of like that's when it was kind of sad, because um there, you know, like businesses and stuff were closed. Still, the world, like driving down any place, it was just kind of eerie a little bit because there was like no
Yeah.
one on the streets
Yeah,
there.
that was crazy.
Yeah, and it's like, what do we do? And because my mom and I both are at home, and my dad's still having to go to work, and that was hard because, like, I was thinking like we could, he could get it, being in
Hmm.
these places, and we don't like it. It's so unknown, like what this could do, and you know, so that was kind of scary. And then, so first I was kind of mad, and then um that his job still made him like go to work, but then and then I was kind of sad about that. And then but then, at least he still has his job,
Yeah.
and you know we are, we're able to be okay, with all of the financial things that, they have,
Yeah.
already. So with even without his job. So like,
Yeah, and
and then
I think that with you being like upset because he has to go to work, it's um because one, our parents are older now, and
oh yeah.
that with that comes a lot of worry, because I'm sure with you, and because we've talked about it, where we worry about our parents.
Oh yeah.
I think we're at a point in our lives, because we are close to our family and our parents. Um, we kind of prioritize their health over a lot of things, and um, at least for me, I know, and I know for you as well. I was more worried about my parents catching anything, because again, they are elderly, and well, not that old, but they are older, and they do have, some health conditions that could potentially, they're more prone to being able to catch it, and
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that they were safe, which was one of my priorities, were why I decided, to take a second job. And
Yeah.
if I had to do it, I will do it, because their health is important to me.
Yeah. And say, like I said, yeah, it really is the same for me, especially with my mom, too. Like she's the main one, and then also my dad too. Like, he's younger than my mom, but he's still in that age range that is more at higher risk, and he thankfully doesn't have health issues that, on top of that. But you know
Yeah.
but um yeah, so we've been masked up, gloved up, like this whole time. Like
Yeah.
my mom, she's like, because like at first I had to like convince her to like wear the gloves. She was fine with wearing the mask. She was like all about it. But like the gloves, because I was like here, because like we, we had those disposable gloves,
Mhm.
and I was like, here, like anytime she goes to the store, like wear your gloves, wear, like, and if she goes without me, you know, I tell her before she leaves, or something like that, or you know, but she does it without me even having to say anything now, because she knows like I'll be mad if she does it,
Yeah, yeah.
but like the other day we left them in the other car because we had to get, anyway, um and um when I just gave her this look that she was, because I was like, you're not going to, because we were going to the store to get something, and she's like, I'll be fine, like I'll just sanitize my hands and stuff. I was like, okay, but I gave her like the dirtiest look. I didn't even mean to, but it just like happened. And she's like, I'll be fine, like, um, and everything. So it's just it's so weird, but um, yeah. So then May was just another. We were trying to like find things that to pass the time and stuff too, and then like you said, you ordering things that you wanted and stuff to like entertain yourself, because at this point we were like, oh yeah, it's only gonna be like a month, like or two, we'll be fine, like staying at home.
Mhm.
And so I remember like the Nintendo Switch, thinking, oh yeah, I could get that because I had some money, you know, um, from saved that that I could do something with, or if I wanted to. So I was like, maybe I'll get that. But then they were like sold out for like everywhere,
Oh,
because like everyone had the same idea.
I'm telling you, if you thought of something, somebody already thought of it, and it was sold out everywhere. Everything
Yeah,
sold out, and I was just like, really, people? Like,
yeah. I was like, well, not doing that.
right? It's like at that point, you either like cleaned your house several times, like rearranged your house, built something with the shit that you already had.
Yes.
It was just like I think I did start like putting like those like bedazzling little things. Um
Oh yeah, I remember you doing
I
that.
was
That
yeah,
was so.
I was doing that, but I started school and school takes up most of my evening and night, so
Yeah.
that had to be put on the back burner. And with the mask, my mom actually started making masks with all kinds of fabric and stuff. She was putting the filter in and everything, and she was actually selling them as well. So she entertained herself with that. And besides that, it was just work, school, and figure out life and just stay home. You know.
Mhm.
Um, May was just again hustle, school, trying to get used to school, trying to make sure I, did homework and just get myself into a routine for that. And
Yeah.
then June came around, and that was another heavy
Month. Yeah.
month because my other grandma passed away, and I had to travel to her funeral last minute, and I'm glad I was able to make it. It was definitely a weird situation traveling in these times because you have to have that mask on at all times.
Yeah.
And the plane, depending on what airline I'm assuming, depending on what airline you're traveling with, you have to the way they have the plane set up is you either sit in the window seat, and then the middle seat is empty. Nobody gets assigned to it. It's empty. And then there's the aisle seat, and same thing goes on the other side of the aisle. So, but I believe there is again, some airlines, I believe they're just doing the whole normal thing, but
Mhm.
they require you to have the mask on at all times on the plane. So when I tell you it's the hardest thing to breathe with those things on, it's so
Mm.
hard. It's so hard to sleep with that mask on. Um, on top of that, they no longer go down the aisle with the little carts to serve the juices or
Oh yeah.
sodas and whatever. They have a pre-made little like Ziploc bag with the snack of the trip or whatever. A little mini bottle of water, a napkin. They do when you're getting on the plane. they do give you these little Lysol wipe that you can
Mhm.
wipe down like the seat or whatever you want to wipe down. You could use that. And yeah, the flight attendant just comes by, hands you a baggie with your snack and the water, and calls it a day. They no longer come back.
Oh
uh,
wow.
yeah. And
Yeah, that's interesting because I hadn't even thought about that because like I'm so like not thinking about that type of stuff. You know, like traveling anywhere that's so far from my mind. But
I'm ready to. I want to get back to just traveling. I
oh
want to
yeah,
go. So, I want to go. I want to see my friends. I want.
yeah. I was planning to meet up with you again this
Yeah.
year. Like I was thinking about that. Like that's one thing I did in January, and so I was thinking about that because I still had my ticket voucher, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be so much fun. Like, you know,
I know.
and
I
stuff
was
like.
so close to buying my ticket to go visit, and like you, and then to go visit my friend Marlo, and then to go to Orlando. But when I tell you I was so close, I'm so glad I didn't buy
Oh
it
yeah, I'm
because
so glad I didn't either.
because I who even knew, like, life was just so different. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, every month was just something after another, and it was just like, when is this going to end? And unfortunately, this is our new normal, and we just kind of have to get used to it. But
yeah.
when I landed in Alaska, because for those of you listening, I actually lived in Alaska and grew up there and was raised there for most of my life. So my grandma used to live there, and that's where the funeral was. So when we landed, before we landed, we were given a form to fill out for this whole COVID situation. It was kind of like if you've ever traveled abroad or international, it's kind of like a declaration form. Well,
Mhm.
you had to fill that out. There's options on it, and you had to like put your address where you're staying. If you're staying a long period of time, then you can quarantine for 14 days, I believe it's the time frame. I don't remember.
Mhm.
But I was literally just there for 3 days because I had to be back for my work and all of that. And I had to opt to do the testing. Now, at that time, when I traveled in June, the testing was just limited to like people like that are traveling, that are coming from a different state, especially because at that time I believe Arizona was getting up there with the cases.
Yeah.
So you had to be tested, and the test was different. So the test at that point, because this was like the beginning of June. So the tests were just being developed. People are trying to get, understand how to do it and stuff. So when I landed, I had to fill this form out, and get in line and everything. You have masks. People don't want to touch you. People don't want to get near you. And
Yeah.
this goes for everybody. Like, you need to social distance or whatever. And you got those assholes out there, and I'm gonna say they're assholes that just don't want to follow the rules, don't want to
Oh, don't
do.
even get me started.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what, sir or ma'am, I don't got time for you. Okay, I'm trying to live, and I'm trying to get through this to live my best life, and
Yeah.
you, sir or ma'am, are just, you're really irking my nerves.
Yeah, before the mask were a requirement for going in the grocery stores and stuff, like you should have seen me. I was literally dodging people left and right because people weren't wearing masks and people weren't social distancing. Like people were so close. I was like, no, get out the way. Excuse me. Like,
Oh, I know, like, my parents would go to the store and they would come back and be like, "Oh, there was this asshole that was just breathing on me." And it's just like, really, people, like, are you not like, I get it. Like, some people just don't care, and you do you, believe whatever you want to believe, but please be courteous of like others. Like, other
uh huh,
people want,
exactly.
like, God forbid it was one or like this is my thing. Like you don't want to follow the rules and you don't want to follow the law, but when it's you on that bed and it's you not being able to breathe,
Exactly.
then you're gonna be like, oh shit, I should have followed the law. Like,
Mhm.
really? But if when and that's the thing people don't think about, like, oh, I don't want to wear a mask or I don't want to do this and it's my right and blah blah blah. Okay, so when it's your turn to, God forbid, because I'm not that evil
Yeah.
to wish that upon anybody. God forbid it's your daughter, your son, yourself, a family member. Then you're gonna
Mhm.
be like, oh well, this shit was real. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's just don't even get me started because I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's the whole thing in itself. And I'm so tired of seeing people like just at restaurants and parties and stuff right now. It, it irks me to no end. I'm
oh
I'm
my god, I know. I
like
I feel you. I'm just like, so before I got back, when I landed there, like I said, I had to fill the form. I did the testing, and to be honest, it didn't hurt. It was just like the stick that they put up your nose, both
mhm,
nostrils, and I did not get my test. This and keep in mind, this is when the testing was. It wasn't taking that long to get your test results back. I
right.
I was there for such a short period of time that I got my test results went like a week after I left. So I got it when
Okay.
I got back to
Okay.
Arizona. So when I got back to Arizona, that's when things started opening back up. And when I came, I tested negative, and anybody wants to know. Um, because
Yeah.
I'm a hermit itself. So
Yeah.
when I got back, shit was opening back up, and people were like dying to go to the bar and the clubs, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Can you not just go to the damn store and buy the alcohol? It's probably cheaper for a whole bottle than a whole cup of drink, to be
But
honest.
bar lives matter.
I don't. That's the thing. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Really? You really that desperate?" Like, I. And then, well, what could we expect with opening back the bars? The cases went skyrocketing because people. How are you gonna social distance at a damn club and bar? Like,
Right. So, quick recap for my June and um July, real quick, so I can get back to what we are talking about. Is um so on top of like m- hearing about like the coronavirus being bad, and then you like dealing with your family stuff, and me trying to like be there for you and like in a way that I could, like being miles away,
yeah.
then uh you know the um uh, people being murdered, by police officers, just like one after another. It just like really took a toll on me, and it was like really hard to see like all these things, on the news or Twitter and stuff like that too. Like that was the worst. and
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like that, like, ugh. But then, and I was babysitting for my cousin at like a couple weeks after that, and still protests and stuff were still going on. And then stuff's opening up, here, even more, and people just went crazy. And then July, for us, we still weren't doing anything. So, but there was one thing that to kind of uh something to look forward to as we were trying out new restaurants and things like that. And to go back to what you're saying about like how can you social distance at a bar or restaurant. So we were only doing to go orders like anywhere, um if we wanted something from a restaurant. And at this point, there, like the places that we were going, you could not go in to eat, but we wanted to try some new places, and we thought it was only to go, and like people were only going in there to like get their orders and stuff. No. There's this one wing place that we wanted to try, because we were like, it was gonna be a whole thing. Like my mom and I were gonna like do this whole like foodie blog thing. It was gonna and we quickly decided, okay, well, we're not gonna do that, because all the restaurants that we wanted to try, and because we have this kind of shopping center that's like full of restaurants and stuff that we've never been to, and we've lived here for like 5 years in this area. So, but when we realized that these places were letting people eat inside, we decided not to do that anymore, because uh, it does not make any sense to me, because you cannot eat with the mask on. One, two, like the people that are cooking your food, they're still close in quarters, and then then they have to deal with the other people around who are not wearing masks. They're wearing masks, but they're not. But we don't really know like what that's doing with the air, and stuff that you are breathing even through that, and stuff like that, and just people touching stuff that could potentially be touched by. I was like, no, it's a no for me. Um, so that that was kind of sad, but because we had this whole thing and that we wanted to do, but like that's so minuscule in like the grand scheme of things. Like I'd rather be safe than have a fun thing to do. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, but like yeah. So
I know that. Yeah, the whole restaurant situation, trust me, I haven't stepped into a restaurant in months.
yeah, so the one place that I was talking about, we went there, me and my mom just went there for lunch during a weekday, and there was like no one, so we thought it would be fine. And we went back, and we told after we told my dad about it, and we saw like, because like there was no one, like the parking lot empty, like all around us, in this whole
Mhm.
entire like big shopping center. That so but when we came back on that Saturday, it was like it normal. You know what I mean? Like line around, like down the street,
Oh
uh
yeah.
like cars
That
every
that I don't understand. Like why can't you just order and have it delivered, you know?
right,
You
you know.
why you rather stand in line to get the possibility of getting this virus and just for a plate of food, like really?
Right. So, oh yeah. So I don't know if you remember from when you visited here, but when we went to the movie theater that you can eat in,
Yeah.
we were in that area. So, but like I said, when we went there during the week, it was like ghost town, like how it I expected it to be all the time. And I've seen so many people like on Twitter, like in other places, being like, don't go to restaurants and stuff like that, because like um the workers like tell their managers, and then they don't tell the other workers and stuff, and then they've been exposed and like stuff like that. Like I've
Oh
seen
wow.
that so
Yeah,
much.
See, and look, and I get both sides of that is because one, the managers want to keep their jobs, want to keep their workers, and because they need they need the income. However, this person could be is exposing to a lot of people, and that actually goes both ways. Like, really, people, like, I don't understand. Like, there's delivery services, there's
Right.
pickup, there's like you can cook at your house and make your
Yeah.
own meals. Like,
Exactly.
like, I don't understand. Like, I'm telling you, people are just, I don't know. Like, I don't know what goes through people's minds. Like, I have to go to a restaurant. And what people don't understand is like a lot of things have changed. Like,
Yeah,
you
we all want to do that type of stuff. Like, I miss going to the movies so badly. Like, you don't even know. Like, we're movie people. Like, movies and restaurants are our thing. You know that.
yeah.
So like not being able to go is like, is like weird. Because normally, if the longest we've gone from like not going to a movie or a restaurant is like maybe a month because we were just broke or like there was nothing we wanted. You know.
Right, right, yeah.
You know.
And it's hard. Like, people, I don't know. I wish I understood, but I really don't.
No.
Like, I don't understand, but I don't know. This is our new normal, and people need to either jump on board, or it's sad to say, or you're just going to get infected. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
And like
know.
I don't know. It's just weird. Like I saw so many people like getting their hair done, like getting their nails done, like at these places, and like not at this point like not wearing mask or and stuff like that, and then I'm just like
Yeah.
why
Well,
like
listen, I am guilty of going to go get my nails done, but my nail place, you have to make an appointment, and they are limited of how many people can be in there, and they have those like plastic things,
right
and then you have to wear a mask in order to go in,
yeah
or else here in Arizona a mask is required everywhere you go, and if you don't have it you do get turned away.
yeah
So, and people get upset, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like,
yeah
best believe I will catch a case if you I'm telling you, I am not the one to play with when it comes to shit like that,
No,
because
but no, you did the right thing. No, what I'm talking about is like, people like going to someone else's house and like getting their nails done and stuff by like,
oh, absolutely.
like a friend of a friend or like someone they know, you know, no, and stuff like that or like things like that, and or like back when they didn't have those like things in place and they weren't closed yet,
Yeah.
or like taking by appointment only and stuff like that. I'm talking about then, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, and there's some places that even if you're going to dine in, they have to take your temperature.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
when I go into campus, like, I am online, like I started online, and the only reason I have to go to campus sometimes is because of a specific class that I'm taking that has to
Mm.
be done on campus, or I have to get like my hours in for certain things. And even the moment I enter the building, I have to have a mask on at all times on campus, even if I'm in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Um, Once I enter, there's a whole setup where I have to go in. They take my temperature. They ask me if I have any of the symptoms, and if I have any of them, I get sent home, and I have to have a note from my doctor, which I don't. I don't have it. So you get your temperature, and if your temperature is a certain, I believe it's like 199 or higher, something
Mm.
like that. You have to either they like here in Arizona, it's kind of hard because it's like a trillion degrees. So by the time you get out of your car and go to the building, you're sweating, and
Yeah.
and it's hot, so you kind of have to like, and they take that into account when,
Consideration.
yeah. So
Mm.
um they give you a wristband, and then you're going to the building. You can continue onto the building, which if you have that wristband, everybody in the building knows that you're clear, you can be there, you're not contagious or whatever, you don't have it.
Right. So that the campus that I well that I was going to go to, I'm only going online now. But they're doing the same thing. But they also have hybrid classes and where you can go on campus, but the you can also opt for if you don't want to go, you can still be in that class, but you can just watch the recording of the lectures and stuff like that. But I still feel like there's going to be some professors that require you to come on campus for a certain amount of time if you do the hybrid. So I just chose strictly online because I did not want to like face that because that would just be my luck, because I've had professors that were just like impossible before
Yeah.
at another university, and no, I'm not trying to go through that. No.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole different world um now. And so I don't, and then that brings us back. That was the end of June, I guess. June in general,
Yeah.
I went through all that. And I'm still working, and I believe I'm back to uploading. At this point, it is whenever I feel like uploading.
Yeah.
Whenever I can, because I do have a lot going on in my life. And I have work, I have school. And for those of you that aren't caught up with my life, I should have a video that says keeping up with Lou's life.
Yes.
Um I the school what I'm going to school for is medical school. I'm in medical school, which is a actually a fast-paced school. So I will be done with school officially in February of 2021, which really is around the corner.
It literally, and I'm so proud of you for that, because like
Yes.
that's awesome.
It's gonna be one of my biggest accomplishments, to be honest, because I never wanted to go to school after I graduated. I hate school in general. I hate doing homework and everything, but um and a lot of this, Jazz. Um I guess, responsibility and a lot of work to give myself a lot of
Uh,
work.
yes.
Um and like I always say, I just want to set up my future. And if I have to I guess struggle and deal with a lot of things at once, I'm down. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, it's to improve my life and my future. So it is a lot of work, a lot. Keeping that in mind, I need to do an updated video on that.
Yeah.
I'll eventually film that.
Yeah, eventually. This
Eventually.
girl's been doing a million and one things since I've met her, and I don't know how she does it. But
The hustle doesn't stop.
it literally, I'm like, so I tell her all the time, she makes me tired and stressed out just thinking of all this stuff. No.
I know. I know. I I don't know how I do it either.
Yeah, my mom said the other day, she's like, you need to keep her around because she's gonna be like some like a super entrepreneur one day, and like so you keep her as a friend because
She's beneficial in your life.
yeah.
Oh my, I think that's just a whole nother episode about everything I do and all of that shit.
Yes.
A whole nother episode. But so July, my birthday was the first. So um and if anybody's wondering, in the middle of all of this in my life, my parents they actually stayed in Alaska. They I we kind of all came to agreement that it's better for them to stay there since their cases are not that high. Um
Yeah.
when I came back, the cases here in Arizona skyrocketed. So I rather just have them safe and be over there. And that's we have family there, so they're there, and they will be coming back eventually. So
Yes.
by the time this video goes or this episode goes up, I believe they might be already here or they might not. So I don't know. It depends when this goes up. But if you're
Yeah.
listening to them, they're healthy, they're fine, they haven't been exposed to it at all. So July was a pretty decent month, I have to say.
Yeah.
Just like life in general, it has its ups and downs, and we're getting through it. And here we are in August.
Which is crazy.
I know. I'm telling you, even though we are, hopefully, at least me, I can tell you, I go 5 days, 6 days, a whole week without leaving my house.
Uh,
Um,
oh yeah. Like
so
I honestly, I think I went a whole month, like not stepping out of the house.
yeah, it's crazy, and you don't realize that until like I went to my brother's house. He lives up the road, and that was the other day, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what outside looks like."
Yeah.
Because I'm literally like my house in general doesn't have like big windows, so I don't really all my windows are shut. I like to live in the dark. And
Oh. Mm-mm.
so I don't really like look outside. The only time I actually like open the door to go outside if it's like get something delivered or my dog goes outside. So that's pretty much it. And I don't, that's just it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I don't even at this point, like my friends don't want to see me. We try to like we try to just we talk, we call, we text, and that's it. Like
Mhm.
nobody wants to be around nobody.
Yeah.
And as much as I used to be that person that I would make plans, and my best friend can tell you this because me and him are just exactly like we would make plans together, and then the day before or last minute we'd be like, something came up, or like,
Yeah.
can we do this another time? And now it's like that. It's
That
crazy.
was the same. That was the same with me and like a friend that I have here too.
It's like it's like you did anything and everything to stay home, and now you are home permanently.
Yeah.
And I hope people are trying to stay away from the public, but
Yeah.
so now like we'll text, and like we try to like do something or stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, we forgot, we're living in this time of day where we can't really go anywhere.
Yeah. Like trying to like celebrate anything or do anything is weird. Like we try because like both my birthday and my mom's birthday all happened like when everything shut down. So you know, for the first time. So like that was weird. It was a weird thing. Um and then my friend that I have here too, she had a family member pass away too, and she couldn't even like have her family that doesn't live here come, so I I hope people like get it together and like wear a mask, stay home if if you can,
Yeah, yeah. I
do all the
know.
things.
I know.
Like wash your hands. I don't. I never knew how like many people were just like so gross. Like,
Oh yeah, people be hella nasty. When I tell you people be nasty, it's on a real level. Where I used to like where I work and when when we used to be in the buildings, people would go to the bathrooms and not wash their hands. We
mhm,
had signs all over the bathroom saying please wash your hands up to what believe it's like 20 or 30
20,
seconds.
yeah.
People would not do it. And I'm just like, people, you are real nasty, real nasty.
Mm-mm.
Because you don't realize how much or how many things you touch with your hands. Like, not only you're touching your face, you're touching your mouth, your nose. Like, think about it. You go to the bathroom, you have already touched the door that
Mhm.
opens to the bathroom, and this is in a public place. Um, you've touched the door handles from the bathroom. Who knows how many
Mhm.
other people have touched that without washing their hands, clean hands or dirty hands. Then you're touching the door to the stall that who knows how many other Bobs and Sally's are touching that. Um,
Ugh.
then you're sitting down. That's another part of your body that is touching another surface that other people have touched. Um, and then you're touching the thing where the toilet paper goes. You're touching the toilet paper that other people have touched. Just count how many things you've already touched before you even think about washing your hands. And
Right.
then you're touching your clothes, which your clothes, you're the only one wearing them, but things are getting attached to it. Bacteria
Exactly.
and stuff. So you go to the bathroom, whatever. You're touching that door again with your dirty hands that you've just went to the bathroom. You're touching that door. Now the next person's going to come and touch that door. Then you go, you walk over to the sink and if God, hopefully you wash your hands.
Yes.
At the place where I work, the buildings are automatic, the faucet or whatever.
Yeah.
But I know that some places don't have the automatic, which you
Yeah.
gotta touch the little handles. There goes
Mhm.
another surface you gotta touch, and then if you touch the sink area, that's another surface. And keep
Mhm.
in mind, you haven't even washed your hands.
Yes. So this is me. Like, this is pre-pandemic. I so like walking in, uh like I'm using like my elbow or like, or anything like else, to open the door, like, and or close it, you know and then the toilet paper, I like roll it down far enough, and then I tear that off, and I like, and then I use the next part, that hasn't been touched by anyone. Hopefully, like, this is in my mind, this works. you know,
Yeah. Well,
you know,
you do things that prevent other things.
right. So, and then it's like, not gonna go further into that, but then, you know,
Yeah.
elbow with the, at the sink to turn the faucet on if there is, if it's not automatic, you know, and then, like, here I go again, like, I'm using like my butt to open the door,
Yeah.
like walking out with my hands out like this.
I know. And like you don't realize and what explained everything that you've touched so far. And God forbid you're one of those cuz I'm one of those that I take my phone everywhere with me and you're touching your phone and you haven't washed your hands and then
Yeah.
by the time you get to washing your hands, you only wash it for 2.5 seconds. You haven't really washed your
And
hands.
then, oh, and when we say wash your hands, we mean with soap, people,
Oh
because
yeah. And then that's the other thing. Then before you even wash your hands to get the soap, if it's not automatic, because at my building, or the work building, it's automatic. So if you don't have an automatic, you're touching that surface too. And then if you
Mhm.
wash your hands for 2.5 seconds, you're really not washing your hands. It's still dirty. And then you allegedly you allegedly get the towel and soak the non really washed hands that you really didn't wash. Now you're gonna go over and touch that door again to open and get out of there. And then you're gonna go on and touch your keyboard, your mouse, people. So just think about that. And I'm telling you, like, I don't know. It's been years. Every time that I use the bathroom, it's a habit. It's a routine. Like every time you use the bathroom, you wash your hands, use the same paper that dried your hands off to touch that handle, and then, move with your butt, your elbow, your face. Not your face, not your face, but
No, we're
like your.
not doing anything with our faces in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
And that's the other thing. What if you need to scratch your eye while you're sitting on the toilet? Like, I'm telling you, people don't think of these things, and we us as humans, we are like that. We don't think of every step that we take. Am I perfect? Do I do wash my hands. Just keep that in mind. But
Yes.
um, do I forget that sometimes I'll touch my eye and stuff? Yeah, of course. I'm human. But
Yeah, and that's why like Jeannie Mice from the Real, she said one time, like, when you come home, you should take off your clothes immediately and like put something else on because, you know, and this was before the pandemic, so like, you know, uh,
yeah.
it's like just germs because, and I didn't think about that. I mean, I always, I never sleep in what I, wore in the day to begin with because my mom even would say that, oh yeah, those are outside clothes. You don't want to like wear those to bed, like, or anything like that. So that's why you have pajamas that you only wear,
Oh yeah.
but
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, it makes total sense. But and if there's like airborne things, are out there getting on your clothes, like, yeah.
Right.
So like,
Yeah.
so wash your hands, wash your clothes, just be
That reminds me of something.
just
Wash your
because
ass.
people don't be washing their legs when they shower. So
Dude, that goes into so much other shit. I swear. People are just nasty. At this point, I have to say alcohol and not alcohol like to drink, but just like pure alcohol and
mhm.
the Lysol spray has become my perfume as I go in and out of my house.
Oh yeah, I
And
was
then I have
upset when they ran out over here.
yeah,
I was like, what are we gonna do?
I have a spray bottle that is like a hair spray thing that you put like water or whatever.
Mhm.
I We fill that up with alcohol, and we have one in the car. We have one in every car, so every time we go out and come back, we spraying that the shit out of us with that alcohol.
Yeah, we have hand sanitizer like in the car, and we have like napkins and stuff like. So if we don't have like the we had Clorox ones, but I think we're out of those and we can't. We've tried to order them, but they're like sold out everywhere. So we have like the hand sanitizer and the like napkins or paper towels, and we have that, and we wipe stuff, wipe everything. And like I spray the house, and stuff, like the door. I sprayed the doorknobs and the light switches, and like I sprayed the door to the refrigerator, both of them, because we have two, like one in our garage, and everything, like, because yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah, I no, I think my mom cleaned the whole house with Clorox at the beginning. She would clean throughout. the weeks and stuff. So it
Yeah.
it literally has been it has what it has it's been, let me count, February, March, April, May, June, July. It's been 6 months of this new life that we have to live in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been crazy. It's been a journey for sure. And it's just a lot. It's an adjustment. New things have to come out, and um just a lot going on. And I'm just wishing the best for everybody. I wish everybody is staying healthy, is
Yes.
staying safe, is washing your hands,
Yes.
wearing mask. Just think about it. Like, I trust me, like nobody wants to wear a mask. Nobody does. But just think about the you're we're all making a small difference
Yes.
by just wearing that mask. You
And when you
know.
wear a mask, you have to cover your nose with it, people, because
Oh,
then you're
oh.
not. I see. I don't know how many people I've seen, like, cause sometimes, like, I'll be in the car while my mom goes in or something like that, and I will like, look at the people. People have it here, like, under their nose, and people walking out of the store with it off now, and I'm like, dude, like, you're still out in the world. You, like, it's an airborne thing. Why is that not clicking for you people? I don't understand. Your mask is not doing anything around your neck.
Right, I don't
I do,
understand. And this is the other thing. Good thing you brought it up is because people are wearing masks without the filters in the mask. The filter is there to filter your breathing, so it helps you, and also to filter uh this virus. Like,
yeah.
what's the point of you wearing a mask? First of all, those of you wearing a mask that's a net makes
Oh.
no sense.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Let's not even start with that. Second of all, those of you that are just wearing a cloth, like, really?
Yeah. And then, like, I know those people did not wash it, but some of these people did not wash it before.
Oh, that's
You know
another
the.
thing. You got to make sure if you're wearing one of those like handmade mask or whatever, you
Mhm.
need to wash it because that's just nasty. Like, I don't care how I wash
Yeah.
mine. Like, you're breathing into that. No.
Yeah. I saw. Like, this is no shade to this man that I saw, because I know he was probably working hard, and he got dirty, but his mask was looking real gross, and I just was like, I, how, like,
You're like, this guy is real gross.
I don't I don't
I'm done. I can't.
like
No, I
this
I
is.
feel you though. I've seen some masks that I'm like, sir, ma'am, I know for a fact that that mask has not been washed since you got it, and it looks like you got it a long time ago.
Well, this
So
was this was a disposable one, and, like, cause so it was
that
white.
that is even worse. That is
Yeah,
even worse because it's called disposable mask for a reason.
yeah, and that's another thing. When you are wearing a mask, do not reuse that mask. Like when you go to the next place, you put another one on. If you are gonna go multiple places at a time, like, which you probably shouldn't be doing. But if you're gonna do it,
Definitely. And that actually reminds me, with the whole glove situation.
oh yes,
I did have to go through CPR during all of this. And when I tell you because I am CPR first aid certified, um it was completely different of how you get trained now than how it used to be, when the world was normal. Uh
yeah,
But when it comes to gloves, you have these disposable gloves. You got to think about, sorry, how you're using them. When I'm telling you, if you're just wearing them and you're touching everything, it's you still you're contaminating everything that you're touching.
Yes.
So there's two things you can do with it is when you're wearing them, when you're touching something, you throw it away right away because that could have contaminated, you could have contaminated the glove already. Um,
Right.
you can't reuse the disposable gloves because you've already touched your door, your car door, products at the
Mhm.
store, your face, your phone, everything. It's already, there's no point of having it if you're touching all these things. So
Exactly.
what I recommend, if you have these gloves and you have hand sanitizer or this alcohol, you spray it on the gloves and don't rub it in because it doesn't allow it to dry and um, kill the bacteria. When you're rubbing it in, you're just letting it dry really fast and it's not really doing its job to kill the bacteria.
Yes.
So
Let
people
it
are just
sit.
like, yeah, people are just wearing these gloves and then just like touching everything and they're like, I'm not gonna get the virus. Like you just touched
Yeah.
everything.
I remember seeing this TikTok of it. I think it was a nurse going off because people were doing that, you know.
Yeah,
It's called
I was like,
cross contamination for a reason, people. Like,
exactly. You would think people would like get educated, you know?
yeah, like, and that's a thing. That's the thing. Like, some things are just common sense, and like people don't have that. And like I've seen, like I've heard before, like common sense is not that common. So, like, I don't know.
And that's
I
a
don't know what to
fact.
tell these people. 'Cause,
That is such a fact right there. Common sense is not so common. And trust me, I work with some people that, dear God, help us all. But oh my gosh, it has been definitely a long time. And I'm glad we are back to recording episodes. And I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to add, Jazz?
no, I mean, I hope everyone's staying safe, staying healthy, out there, and stay tuned, for more.
Yes, definitely. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We kind of wanted just to talk about where we've been, what we've done, and share our situations and our life events and everything going on in our lives. And how we're staying sane and how we're staying safe in these like difficult times. And let us know if you're listening the episode on YouTube. Let us know in the comments how you're dealing with this, any advice, any suggestion of what we should do with upcoming episodes, because we are going to be recording more often and um, putting more episodes out there for you guys. So if you are listening to it on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment and share. And also, the podcast is available on. I'm gonna say the main platforms because I don't remember all of them, but they are.
Right.
It is available on all the platforms. If you listen, I know Spotify is a big one, and Apple Podcasts is also a big one. So
Yes.
with that being said, I think we're just going to close it there. And I hope you guys enjoyed us chit chatting and our 2 cents about things. And maybe you had a laugh here and
I
there.
hope.
And if you have any suggestions on any future episodes, make sure to let us know. Make sure you rate the episode. I believe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify you can, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so make sure you do that. And if you need to reach me or the podcast, it is also available on Instagram, Chatting More with Lou. And you already know where to find me. chat with Lou on everything. And Jazz,
I am Glam Jasmine on Instagram and Glam Jasmine 23 on Twitter.
perfect. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close this episode off, and make sure to stay safe, make sure to stay healthy, and wear your damn mask.
Yes. Please,
Um,
for the
ooh, for
yes.
the love of God, please. Okay then. I hope you guys enjoy. And what do we always say at the end of the episode, Jazz? Make sure you try to get your shit together. We
Yes.
love you guys. Thank you so much for all the love and support, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.